Come on in, mighty companions. Come on in, mighty companions. Mighty companions. Become open to love. Open up your heart. Open up your heart. Come on in, and I am opening. I am opening. I am opening to love. I am opening. I am opening. I am opening to love. I am opening. I am opening. I am opening to love. Say it with me now. I am opening. I am opening. I am opening to love. Let's get centered. I am opening. I am opening. I am opening to love. I am opening. I am opening. I am opening to love. Let's come on in and let's feel each other. It's time for a course of love. A course of love. You don't have to believe the ideas tonight. You don't have to accept the ideas tonight. Some of the ideas you hear may be hard to believe. Some of the ideas you hear may be quite startling. You are not being asked to judge the ideas at all. It is their use that will give the ideas meaning to you and will show you that the ideas are true. This is a journey of the heart and not of the mind. So get out of your mind. Lose your mind. Lose your mind. The heart is the center of your being. Your heart is the center of your being. It's not that organ that pumps blood through your physical body in terms of what we're talking about. This is a course of love. And we're giving everybody a chance to groove and to get in the vibe before we get started. Appreciate you online. I see you. I see who's online. I see those anyway that have shared comments and are greeting each other. And remember that you can interact with each other while I'm going through this. Welcome to A Course of Love. I'm so excited to be here with you. Me and you again, having our regular date. You and I having our regular date. I love that. I love that. We got to keep on meeting like this. If you want to find out all about A Course of Love, go to www.acourseoflove.org. It will explain how it came about, what it says, and all those kind of questions. Okay, go to acourseoflove.org and you can order the books. So I'm not going to be dealing with the origins of it and all of that. I'm going to be continuing with chapter 2. In chapter 2, finishing it up, what is love? And that's on page 25. And we're going to start, it's chapter 2, page 25, paragraph 2.20. The second chapter, paragraph 20, 2.20. That's where I'm starting. Okay. The purpose of the Course of Love is to open your heart and your ability to follow it at a level you've never experienced before. I hope you're feeling good. I hope you're doing good. Actually, I'm going to start at paragraph 19, the one that starts, just as the Holy Spirit can use what the ego has made, just as your loving mind can use what your fear need. Your ego, it says the ego can use what the mind has learned but has not integrated. Your ego can use what your mind has learned but has not integrated. So anything that you are learning that you're not using, leave room for your ego to manipulate it. It leaves room for the fear in your mind to manipulate the information that you've been studying and reading if you're not using it. It becomes just food for your ego, for your fear, if you don't use the information that you're receiving when you're studying and learning new material. Once you are what you have learned, there's no room in which the ego can exist. The once you are demonstrating everything that you are learning, then there is no room in which your ego can exist. There would be no room in which your fear can exist when you become what you are learning, which is that you are loved, you are loving, and you are lovable. And since you're using what you've learned, there's no room in which the ego can exist. And so since your ego is now banished from your mind, which was the home that was made for your ego, then your ego slowly dies. Because if you're using what you're learning, then the part of your mind that used to be occupied by your fear, that part of the mind is no longer occupied by fear and the ego, which is the ego. And so the ego, the fear, slowly dies because you've been using and you become what you've learned. And so that part of your mind that was occupied by the fear, by the guilt, by the ego, that part of your mind slowly dies. Now, until your ego slowly dies, until the fearful part of your mind, Earl, and you, my mighty companion, until that part of the mind is no longer occupied with your fear, then your ego takes pride in all the information that you've acquired. Your ego takes pride in all the information that you've acquired until you start to use it. Your ego takes pride in all the new realizations that you have acquired, even unto the greater peace and contentment that's offered by your learning. In other words, your ego can and does see itself as better, and your ego sees itself as stronger, and your ego sees itself as more capable of worldly success. We're in chapter 2, and we're on page 25, and we're around paragraph 19 in chapter 2. Those of you that are watching, if someone comes on and they ask where we are and you have the book, just type it in the comments. Then I can still just keep flowing without having to stop and constantly say where I am. So I appreciate you all's help in this if you have the book. So your ego will use everything you've learned for its own motivations and then pat you on your back for your new abilities. But do you know that without your vigilance, your ego may even become stronger than before and fiercer in its criticisms of you than before? If you're not vigilant, when you get all this new information about how loving you're supposed to be and how conscious you're supposed to be, well, if you don't watch it, your ego will use that to criticize you even more for not being who you think you should be or where you think you should be. In other words, your ego pretends to hold you to new standards. Now you have these new standards you got to live by, but your ego only uses what you have learned to increase your guilt. Now you're not using it like you should. You should be more loving than you are. You should be more happy than you are. You should be practicing this more and better than you're actually practicing it. It's what your ego mind, your fearful mind, will tell you if you have all this new learning, but you're not using it and living it. And so your ego will win in your daily battles, and your ego works for your final application. In other words, what your ego wants is the day that you give up and you just admit defeat and you go, this stuff just doesn't work. It doesn't make any sense to keep trying to do this because it's not working like I think it should. So that's what the ego part of the mind is working for. That's what it's trying to accomplish. It's trying to get you to eventually give up on your spiritual path, especially since you're being held to all these high standards that you're not living up to. The ego also challenges your right to happiness. It challenges your right to love. That's the part of your mind that challenges your right to miracles. That's the part of your mind. Your ego is the part of your mind that seeks only to have you claim that living such fantasies of having an unconditionally loving life doesn't work and won't ever be possible here. So I just described the battlefield, and you've now marched onto the battlefield. You are on the battlefield. If you're wondering where you are, you're on the battlefield. And the war rages by day, and the war rages by night. And don't you realize that there's a big part of you probably that has grown weary? That there's and it's okay to admit. It's okay to admit that a part of you is weary, Earl, Raj, and it's okay for you to admit that a part of you has grown weary, my mighty companion, you, that's here with me right now. We're going to do this together. Do you know that your heart is crying out for solace? Do you know that your heart is crying out for solace? And your cries for help have not gone unheard. Your cries for help have not gone unheard. Help is here. Help is here. Help is here. Help is right where we are, right now. Help is here. Help is here. So, so don't believe that everything that you've learned is not going to work. Don't believe that everything that you've learned will not do what it was given you to do. Don't believe that everything that you've learned is not going to do what it was given you to do. Don't believe in your failure. Don't believe in your failure or your ego's success. Don't believe in your failure or your ego's success. Don't believe in your failure. Don't believe in your ego's success. Don't believe in your failure. Don't believe in your ego's success. Everything that you've learned is still with you. Everything that you've learned is still with you, regardless of your perception of the outcome of your learning. Regardless of your perception of it, everything that you've learned is still with you. Everything that you've learned is still in you, regardless of what your mind is telling you. All the things that you've learned is still with you. Everything that you've learned is still with you. So your perception of an outcome within your control is all that needs to change. In other words, remember that cause and effect are joined. Cause and effect are the same thing. What you want to learn, you cannot fail to learn. What you want to learn, what you really, really no BS want to learn, you cannot fail to learn. You will begin by working on a state of neutrality. A state of neutrality is a state in which the war is no longer fought. You are not going to keep fighting. Who wins and who loses is no longer. Who wins and who loses is no longer our concern. It's not a concern of us anymore. Who wins and who loses, that is not our concern anymore. Who wins and who loses is not our concern anymore. I know that peace hasn't come yet, but the white flag of surrender has been waved, and the white flag of surrender has dropped upon a hallowed ground where neutrality will for a short time rule before peace breaks out in glad rejoicing. There are no plunders to be treasured. There are no victors of this war. All that has been learned and learned again is that this is what you do not want. You're learning that fear is what you do not want. Guilt is what you do not want. Lack is what you do not want. Feeling a separation from God is what you do not want. Feeling a separation from your Creator is what you do not want. Feeling a separation from love is what you do not want. Feeling a separation from God is what you do not want. Feeling a separation from your happiness is what you do not want. Freedom to return home, your real home, is what you want. You want freedom to be away from cries of agony. You want freedom to be away from any form of defeat. You want freedom to be released from any vainglory. It's all that is now sought. So being in a state of neutrality is where your return begins. Your return begins. Your return home to peace, your return to love, your return to happiness begins with having a state of neutrality. The armies may not have marched home yet, but the preparation for you to march home to love and to your happiness and to your peace is underway. Your march to peace is underway. Your march to love is underway. So now we're going to start chapter 3. Chapter 3 is the first lesson. Now we're going to start chapter 3. Chapter 3 is the first lesson. The first lesson, okay? The first lesson is that love is. Love teaches by being what it is. Love teaches by being what it is. Love teaches by being what it is. Love doesn't do anything. Love doesn't do anything. What does that mean? Well, it means that love doesn't strive. It means that love doesn't succeed and love doesn't fail. That love is neither alive and love isn't dead. Love always was, and love is something that always will be. Love is not particular. This love is not particular to you. As human beings, love is in relationship to everything. Love is all to all. So, love doesn't do anything. Love doesn't strive. Love doesn't succeed. Love doesn't fail. Love isn't alive. Love isn't dead. Love is all. It always was. It always will be. It's beyond all of our concepts of what love is. It's in relationship to everything. Love has a relationship to everything. Love has a relationship with everybody. Love has a relationship with everything. Love has a relationship with everybody. Just as true knowledge can't be learned. Do you know that true knowledge can't be learned? Love can't be learned. You cannot be learned. Everything that you desire and cannot learn is already accomplished. Everything that you desire but can't learn is already accomplished. Everything that you desire and can't learn is accomplished in you. Everything that you desire and can't learn is accomplished in you. Everything you desire but you can't learn is you. So, in other words, imagine the ocean, or imagine the cheetah, the sun, or the moon, or God attempting to learn what they are. Imagine a lion trying to learn what it is. Can you picture a lion in a classroom trying to learn what it is? Have you ever noticed that you've never seen a bird trying to learn what it is? Have you ever noticed you've never seen an animal trying to learn what it is? Because it's smart enough to know you can't learn what you are. And everything is the same as you. Everything exists within you. In other words, you are the universe. You are the universe. The universe is you. The whole universe is you. It's not your body. It's not your human identity. The whole universe is you. All of this is you. It's a shared universe. Do you know there are no divisions in the universe? There are no sections, there are no parts, there's no inside, there's no outside, there's no dreams, there's no illusions that can escape or hide, disappear, or cease to be. There is no human condition that doesn't exist in all humans. There's no human condition that doesn't exist in all humans. It is completely impossible for one to have what another doesn't have. I know it may not look that way, but it's impossible for anyone to have something that you don't have. It's impossible for anyone to have something that you don't have. Everything is shared. Everything is shared. That everything is shared has always been true. The fact that everything has been shared has always been true, and it's endlessly true. The truth is the truth. There are no degrees of truth. There's no truth that's more true than another truth. There's no truth that's more true than another truth. There's no love that's more real than another love. There's no love that's more deeper than another love. There are no degrees of love. There are no degrees of truth. You are not form. Who you are is not a form. You are not a form. You are not a body. 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 You are not form. Nor is your real world made out of form. Where you came from is not made out of form. Who you really are is not made out of form. What you really are is not made out of form. And your real world Your real world is not made out of form. Now, I'm not really concerned with whether or not I'm saying something that you believe. I'm not concerned with that at all. I'm here to share what the Course of Love is teaching us about ourselves. I've never read a book that argued with me. I've never read a book that tried to convince me of the truth of what it was saying. I'm just a messenger delivering a word from the universe to you, Earl, and you, mighty companion. So I'll say it to you again. You keep seeking the face of God in form. You keep seeking for love in form. So both love and God are there. Both love and God are here. But love and God are not the form that your body's eyes see. Love is not the form that your eyes are looking at. Just as these words you see upon this page are symbols, only of a meaning far beyond what the symbols suggest, so too is everything around you, everyone around you, everything around you, everyone around you. Those you see and those you can only imagine. Everything around you is a symbol of something much greater than what you see. I'm a symbol of a love much greater than what you see. Your physical form is a symbol of a love, of a being that's much greater than you can see. You are a being that is much greater than you have been taught you are. You are a being that's much greater than you see. So, to seek the face of God, even in the form of Christ, to seek the face of God is to seek for what is. To seek the face of God is to seek what is forever beyond form. To seek the face of God is to seek what is forever beyond form. So when you're seeking the face of God, you're seeking something beyond what you think of as the physical. When you say you want to see the face of God, you're talking about seeing something beyond what you see as physical. To truly see is to begin to be aware of what is beyond form. To begin to really have vision, you have to start becoming aware of what's beyond form, which you have to start being aware of what's beyond what you physically perceive. Reality is beyond what you physically perceive. To begin to see the formless is to begin to understand what you are. When you begin to get that you are more than a physical form, even though you have a physical form at your disposal, you have a physical form at your disposal. You have a physical body at your disposal. Obviously, you have a physical body at your disposal, but you are beyond physical form. And when you begin to see the formless, that is to begin to understand what you are. Take a breath. Take a breath. Quiet. Try to steal the analytical mind. Try to steal your analytical mind. Try to steal your analytical mind. Try to steal your analytical mind. And hear that what you are and who you are is beyond form. Who you are and what you are is beyond form. What you are and who you are is beyond form. All you're looking at right now are just symbols of what's really before you. What you really are is something so glorious that is beyond your deepest imagination, your deepest imagining. You are something beyond your deepest imagining. You are something beyond your deepest imagining. I am something beyond your deepest imagining. Everything you see is something beyond your deepest imagining. Yet you, according to A Course of Love, you persist in wanting only what your eyes can see. Don't you know? Don't you want something beyond what your eyes can see? Are you willing to be open to something beyond what your eyes can see? Are you willing to be open to something beyond what your eyes can see? Don't you want to be open to something beyond what your eyes can see? You persist in wanting only what your hands can hold. You know, it's like I want what my hands can hold. You're just persisting in wanting only what your hands can hold. You call these things real. You call what you can physically see real. You call what your hands can hold real. And you think anything that you can't physically see or anything that your hands can't hold, you don't believe that is real if you can't physically see it. You can close your eyes and you can believe you are in the dark. But even though you close your eyes and you believe you're in the dark, you still don't believe you're not real. And because your eyes are closed and you are in the dark, you don't believe that you no longer exist. Close your eyes. Close your eyes on all that you've been accustomed to seeing. Close your eyes on everything you've been accustomed to seeing. And then you will see the light. And then you will see the truth. It's in the light that comes only to eyes that no longer see. You will find the Christ who lives in you in the light. You will find the love. You will find the real you. You will find the real you that lives in you. You will find the real you that lives in you. It will come through eyes that no longer only see the physical. What was symbolized by Jesus Christ is that in Jesus Christ, the Son of God became the Son of Man. It just symbolizes that Jesus walked the world with a face just like yours. And Jesus had a body, and Jesus had a body with 2 legs, 2 arms, 10 fingers, and 10 toes. Those of you who have a problem with the beautiful teacher Jesus, then you're just going to have to forgive that old perception and programming. Because Jesus is my friend. And not the Jesus of fear that I learned about in my fundamentalist fearful religion when I was growing up. But I'm not going to condemn Jesus because of what I was taught about Jesus, and I'm not going to not afford myself with the love and support of Jesus because of what I learned in the past, or because of what anybody else feels about it. What the Course of Love is saying is that Jesus walked the world with a face much like your face. A body with 2 legs, 2 arms, 10 fingers, and 10 toes. And yet you know this wasn't Jesus, nor is this a picture of the Christ. Jesus gave a face to love. Raj is trying to give a face to love. You are trying to give a face to love. As you are doing right now, you're not attempting to do anything that Jesus wasn't attempting to do. You want to give love a face. I want to give love a face. I want love and kindness and beauty and innocence to have a face. And so that's what I want my face to be. That's what I want my body to be. I want my face and my body to be a physical symbol, a physical representation of the love that we're studying about actually existing. And so yet, Jesus gave a face to love. You are giving a face to love. But love doesn't attach itself to form. And love doesn't say, love does not attach itself to form. Love does not attach itself to form. Love does not attach itself to form. Love does not attach itself to form and say, this is what I am. How can anything have a form except in symbols? In other words, a family crest, a mother's ring, a wedding band. A wedding band is a symbol that you're married. Everything that's physical is a symbol. They all just represent what they symbolize in form. There is no form that's not just a symbol. A form is just a physical form. Any form is just a representation of something. My body is a representation of the idea of being separate, because it's through having a body that I appear to be separate. So the body is a symbol of separation, the symbol that I'm different from you. You see 1,000 forms a day with different names. You see 1,000 forms a day with different names and different functions. And you don't think they're all the same. You place values. You place values on each form that you see. And you place a value on each form that you see based on how useful it is. I value what I see physically. I value anything I see physically based on how useful it is, how pleasing in appearance it is. I value things based on how popular they are and on reputation. And each physical form that you see, each one you place in relationship to yourself. And so you don't even see a form as it is. What you really see is only what the form you see will do for you. The only thing you see is what the form you see will do for you. You only see what you see will do for you. You only see what you physically see, whatever that is, will do for you. So we imprison each other. We imprison form within, you imprison form within your meaning. You imprison me inside of the meaning that you give me. You imprison me inside of the meaning and beliefs you have about me. I imprison you within the meaning I give you. I lock you up within the meaning that I give you. And still, your meaning is truer than the form. Let me put it another way. You give all meaning to everything. You give all meaning. You're giving all the meaning to everything. You, Raj, you, my mighty companion, are giving all the meaning to everything. And you populate your world with angels, and you populate your world with demons. Do you know that it's you populating the world with what you see as angels? And it's you that's populating your world with what you see as demons. Their status as an angel or a demon is determined by whoever helps me is an angel. Whoever does what I want them to do, the way that I would like them to do it, they are classified as angels. Whoever does what you want them to do is classified as an angel. Whoever helps you the way you want to be helped, you classify as an angel. If they don't help you in the way that you want to be helped, if they're not doing what you want them to do, when I say you, I mean you, uh, then that's who gets classified as a demon. A demon is someone who doesn't do what I want them to do. A demon is someone who's not helping me. So that's how you determine your friends, and that's how you determine your enemies. Which means you can have friends that become enemies. Now, why did the friend become an enemy? Because the friend went from somebody who helped me to somebody who I thought was hurting me. And then my enemies can become my friends. So how do my enemies become my friends? Well, my enemies become my friends by becoming somebody that now helps me. So I populate my world with my angels, and I populate my world with my demons. Again, my demons are those who thwart me, who don't help me in the way that I think help should be happening. And the angels are those who do it the way I want them to do it, and they help me the way I want to be helped. That makes you, in my world, an angel. And that's why I determine who my friends are, and that's how a person determines who their enemies are, according to A Course of Love, Chapter 3. While a pencil may essentially remain a pencil in your judgment, at least as long as the pencil has all the qualities that you've determined a pencil should have, few people can exhibit. Do you know that few people can exhibit the qualities you predetermine that they should possess all the time and in all places? There are few people that can be the way you want them to be all the time. There are few people who can be the way you want them to be all the time and everywhere. There's a certain way I want people to be. There's a certain script and role I have assigned to people, and I want them to be that way all the time, in every place we are. And the Course of Love is saying to me, few people can do that. Few people can exhibit the qualities that I have determined that they should possess all the time and in all places. And so it looks like one person disappoints me and another person enthralls me. It looks like one person champions my cause, and then it looks like another person is denigrating me, because no one can be the way that I want them to be all the time and in every place. Nobody can be the way you want them to be all the time and in every place. Few people can exhibit that level of consistency. And do you know, in all these scenarios, you remain the maker of your world in every scenario you're in. You remain the maker of it in every scenario that you're in, giving in its causes and its effects. I had a person send me a email the other day, and she had made herself quite upset about hearing that me say that, we create everything that happens to us, and that we call everything that happens to us. And she had gone through a really painful, horrible experience, and she was angry at the thought that I would dare say that there was some part of her that attracted that to her, or that there was some part of her that created that. And even though I felt a total compassion in my heart and mind for what she had experienced, in my gut, I knew I would not be seeing her, I would not be doing her a favor, and I would not be empowering her by seeing her as a victim. That's all I knew. I wasn't going to try to explain. I wasn't going to try to defend. I could totally get how she felt, but there was something in my gut that knew that I had to still see her as not a victim, and that was the correct way to see her, and anything less than that would be not empowering her at all. So sometimes you just have to continue to keep seeing things the way that you see them, even if you don't always understand why. You just know deep down inside, this is the right way to look at it. So to look at her as powerful, to look at her as a powerful being that's not the victim of her life, that is exactly how I continue to look at her, regardless of her reaction, because these spiritual teachings teach us that regardless of what your reaction to the teaching may be, that you still needed to use the teaching, and then let the teaching show you that it's true. Use the teaching and let the teaching show you that it's true. So, in all these scenarios that you're in any scenario that you're in right now, you remain the maker of your world. You give it its causes, and you also give your world its effects. If this can be so, if this can actually be true, then how can the world be anything but symbolic? In other words, with each symbol's meaning chosen by you and for you. It's symbolic because you're the one that's giving the meaning to everything you see. That's why everything you see is a symbol of something, because you're the one that's giving it the meaning. So therefore, everything in your world is a symbol of something to you. Men are a symbol of something to you. Women are a symbol of something to you. A car is a symbol of something to you. A house is a symbol of something to you. Jesus is a symbol of something to you. God is a symbol of something to you. Money is a symbol of something to you. So that's what it means when it says everything physical is a symbol. It's a symbol because you're the one that's giving it the meaning it has to you. I'm giving it the meaning it has to me. So therefore, it's all just symbols. The world is just a symbol. Everything you physically see is just a symbol to you. So, nothing is what it is. In other words, nothing is what it is, but only what it is to you. Everything is only what it is to you. Everything is only what it is to you. Anything is only what it is to you. Your relationship is only what it is to you. Your life is only what it is to you. What I'm teaching and sharing right now is only what it is to you. So, into this rank confusion, not regular confusion, into this rank confusion, we're going to bring a simple statement into this confusion. We're going to bring a simple statement into this confusion. Here it is. Love is. Love is. What does it mean when you say love is? It means love is never changing. Love is never changing. Love symbolizes only love. Love symbolizes only love. Love is a symbol of love. Love is a symbol of love. How can love fail to be everything? Love cannot fail to contain everything. Love contains everything. Love contains everything. There is no physical form that can surround or encompass all that love is. But love can encompass or surround the form. The form can't really surround the love. My physical form cannot surround and contain all love. But my physical form can be surrounded by love. My physical form can be surrounded by love. But my physical form cannot surround and contain all love. Love is the light in which form disappears. What does that mean? Love is the light in which form disappears, and all that is seen as it is. When you finally are seeing with love, you're seeing everything as love. When you're finally seeing love, you see everything as love. So until you're seeing everything as love, you're not seeing love. Until you see everything with love, you are not actually seeing love. So you may not actually be seeing love yet. What you may be doing is seeing the meanings that you're giving what you see. What you are doing is seeing the meanings that you are giving everything. And if you are not seeing love, you are seeing your meanings. If you're not seeing love, you are seeing your meanings. If you're not seeing love, you are seeing your meanings. Now, those of you that are looking for help may be wondering, how is this helpful? What is there left to say that hasn't been said? What are these words that I'm giving you? These words I'm giving you are symbols. They're just symbols. You've been listening to symbols. It is in what the symbols or the words symbolize that the help that I'm giving you arrives in what the words that I'm using symbolize to you. The words that I'm using, what they symbolize to you, is what makes them helpful to you. You don't need to believe in the words. You don't need to believe in these words. You don't need to believe in the words. You don't need to believe in the potential of the exercises to change your life. For these words enter you as what these words are. These words that I'm giving you are entering you as what these words are. These words that I'm giving you are not the symbols that they represent. In other words, an idea of love is being planted now. This idea of love is being planted in your mind and heart. And this idea that's being planted in your mind and heart is being planted in a garden rich with what will make it grow. Your mind is a rich garden. Your mind is a rich garden, and I'm planting some love seeds. Your mind is a rich garden, and I'm planting love seeds. I'm planting love seeds. Everything is, do you know that everything is given birth in an idea? Everything is given birth in a thought. Everything is given birth in a conception. Everything that's been manifested in your world was first conceived within your mind. Everything that's manifested in your world was first conceived within your mind. While you know this is true, you know that everything you see is conceived within your mind. You know how you see things is conceived within your mind. You know how you see things are conceived within your mind. I'm planting love seeds in you right now. And like you are saying right now, you are fertile soil. And you want to remember that everything you're seeing that isn't love is what your ego made up. You want to recognize that love is the light in which form disappears. You want to remember that your body is a symbol. You want to recognize that you give love to the world. You want to recognize that love seeds are being planted in your mind. You want to water the love seeds in the rich garden of your mind. Now, while you know you're the one that's conceiving of all the ideas in your mind, you continue to believe that you are the effect. You continue to believe that you are not the cause. You continue to believe that you are not the cause. You continue to believe that you are just the effect of things. There's a part of you that continues to believe that you are just the effect of things. This is particularly due to your concept of the mind. You believe that you are a victim sometimes because of the concepts of your mind. In other words, what you conceive it to be, that's what it's going to be to you. Whatever you conceive something to be, that's what it's going to be to you. Whatever you conceive something to be, that's what it's going to be to you. While many teachers have attempted to dislodge this concept of you being a victim that you hold so dear, because you use the mind to deal in concepts. You keep on using your mind just to deal in concepts. And because you do that, you've been unable to let the new learning have its effect. You've been unable to let this new learning have its effect because you still just deal in concepts. And you just deal in concepts because you believe your mind is in control of what it thinks. You believe that your mind is in control of what your mind thinks. You may not realize it, but you believe that your mind is in control of what your mind thinks. In other words, you believe in a process of input and a process of output, all completely human and scientifically provable. The birth of an idea is thus the result of what has come before, of seeing something old as new. You think of improving on some kind of former idea, of taking various information and collecting it into new configurations. You think the birth of a new idea is the result of something that's happened in the past, and you're going to take something that's old and you're now going to make it into something that's new. That it says, of course, of love is saying our idea of concepts is this building on something that's gone before, and then we're going to turn it into something new. and we're going to collect it into some kind of a new configuration. What has this meant for learning that is not of this world? What has that meant for learning that's not of this world? Well, it means that you filter all the new information that you're receiving through your same old lens of your old learning. The temptation is to take this information that you're receiving and still try to filter it through your old learnings and beliefs. You may think of it in the same way. You seek to gather it together so that it will provide an improvement to what has been before. You want to get information and learning so that it will just provide an improvement in your life, just to provide an improvement in what's gone before. You look for evidence that shows if you behave in a certain way, certain things will happen as a result. You look for evidence that shows if you behave in a certain way, you're going to get a certain result. You know, like a child learning not to touch a stove because it's hot and a burn will result, or learning that a warm blanket is comforting. You subject it to 1,000 tests. You subject everything to 1,000 tests dependent on your senses. You subject everything to 1,000 tests dependent on your judgments. You subject everything in your life to 1,000 tests, and guess what? Dependent on your judgments. So while you believe you know what will hurt you, and while you believe you know what you find comforting, you subject what cannot be compared to the comparable. In other words, don't think that your mind as you conceive of it learns through comparison. Your mind as you conceive of it doesn't learn through comparisons. What does that mean? It means everything is true or false. Everything is right to you or wrong to you. Everything is black to you or white to you, hot to you or cold to you. And that's all based solely on contrast. So that's like, you know, one chemical reacts one way and another chemical reacts another way. And so you think it's only in the study of the two chemicals that you believe learning takes place. Let me say it another way. You haven't given up the idea that you are in control of what you learn. You still think you are in control of what you learn. You still think that you are in control of what you learn, nor have you accepted that you can learn in a way that you haven't learned before. It's time for you to learn in a way you have never learned before. It's time for you to learn in another way. It's time for you to learn in a way you've never learned before, Earl. And it's time for you to learn in a way you've never learned before, my mighty companion. It's time for you to learn in a different way. It's time for you to learn in a way that you are not accustomed to learning. It's time for you to learn in a way that's new to you. It's time for you to learn in another way. So we're going to move from the head to the heart. In a course of love, we're going to move from the head to the heart. We're going to move from the head to the heart to take advantage of your concepts of the heart. And your concepts of the heart are more in line with learning that's not of this world. Your concepts of the concept of the heart, the concepts of the heart are much more in line with your new way of learning than the concepts of your mind. The concepts of your heart are much more in alignment with the new way of learning than the concepts of your mind. So, the concepts of your heart are more in line with the true learning that you're about to get now than the concepts of your mind, which are more in alignment with the teaching of the world. Now, so I'm giving you words of love. From the time that I started sharing from this book when we first started at the top of our holy session together, I've been giving you words of love. I've been giving you words of love. Yeah, just like you're saying. Yeah, it's been proven over and over that the old way sucks. And yeah, you're ready to learn the new way. And yes, you are a paradigm. You are a pioneer of a new paradigm. Yes, you have a great big heart on. And yes, this is the best thing in your feed all day. And you cannot compare the love of Jesus to special love. It's exactly right. Yes, from the center of your heart, you are truly learning. Absolutely. Absolutely. So these words of love, these words that I'm sharing with you right now, they don't enter your body through your eyes. The words of love do not enter your body through your eyes. The words of love do not take up residence in your brain. Words of love do not take up residence in your brain. They're to be distilled into a language that you can understand. Love doesn't come in through your eyes to take up residence in your brain so that you can distill it into a language that you can understand. As you listen to this, as you read, I want you to be aware of your heart. In this time that we're having together, be aware of your heart, because this is where this learning that we have now enters. It enters through your heart. This learning that we are doing right now, it enters through your heart and it stays in your heart. It's, in other words, your heart. Do you know that now your heart is your eyes, your heart is your ears. Now your heart will be your eyes, your heart will be your ears. Your mind can remain within your concept of the brain if you like. Your mind can remain within the concept of your brain. But we're going to bypass your mind now. Those of you who are just strictly intellectual and just into analyzing, this is going to be a supreme challenge for you, because this teaching has, in the new way that we're learning, has nothing to do with your analytical processes. It has nothing to do with the concepts of your mind. It has nothing to do with trying to build on what you've already learned to see if you can come up with something new. This is, now your heart will be your eyes. Your heart will be your ears. So we're not going to send your mind any information to process. We're not going to send your mind any information to process. And we're not going to send your mind any data for you to compute. We're not going to send your mind any data for you to compute. Sorry, we're not going to send you for you to compute. And we're not going to give you any information to process. Take a breath.
I am opening to love. I am opening. I am opening. I am opening to love. I am opening. I am opening. I am opening to love. I am opening. I am opening to love. I am opening. I am opening to love.
The only change in thinking, the only change, we're in chapter 3 in the course of love, paragraph 14. In chapter 3, paragraph 14, in the course of love. The only change in thinking, the only change in thinking that you are asked to make, the only change in thinking that you are being asked to make, the only change in thinking that you are being asked to make is for you to realize that you don't need your thinking. In this phase of learning, the only change in your thinking that you're being asked to make is to realize you don't need it. You don't need your thinking. You don't need your thinking. You need God's thinking. You need truth's thinking. You need the thinking of the heart, in other words. It's now time to use your heart as your eyes, your heart as your ears. Now, do you know that what this is going to mean to you goes far beyond the learning of this course? What this is going to ultimately mean to you goes far beyond the learning of this course. One such concept, given up, any of your old concepts, given up and not replaced with another concept you made up, will free you beyond your deepest imaginings. Do you want to be free beyond your deepest imaginings? Then give up one of your concepts and accept one of these ideas into your heart. And not only will it free you beyond your deepest imaginings, it will also free your sisters and brothers as well. Your sisters and brothers will also be freed. So as you read, I want you to be aware of your heart. As you listen to what I'm saying, be aware of your heart. For this is where your new learning is going to enter, and this is where your new learning is going to stay. Your new learning is going to stay in your heart, and your new learning is going to enter in your heart. Your new learning is going to stay in your heart. Your new learning is going to enter your heart. What this will mean to you goes far beyond the learning of this course. One such concept given up and not replaced, one such concept given up and not replaced will free you beyond your deepest imaginings and free your sisters and your brothers as well. Do you know that once one such concept is failed, other concepts that are not true will follow quickly? But none is more entrenched than this one, the one we begin today to let fall away. So what we're talking about is you who have been unable to separate mind from body, you who have been unable to separate the mind from the body, you who have been unable to separate your mind from your body, your brain from your head, your intelligence from knowledge, I want you to take heart. You who have been unable to separate mind from body, brain from head, intelligence from knowledge, take heart. We give up trying. Take heart. We give up trying. Take heart. We give up trying. We simply learn in a new way. And in our learning, we're going to realize that our light shines from within our heart. Your light shines from within your heart. Your light shines from within your heart. That's your altar to the Lord. Your altar to God is the light that shines in your heart. It's the truth that shines in your heart. That's your altar to God. Your altar to God is the light and the truth that shines in your heart. Here is the Christ in us. The Christ in you is the light and truth that shines in your heart. The Christ in you is your true self that shines in your heart. The Christ in you is the love that shines in your heart. And this is where we're going to concentrate our energies, the heart. This is where we are going to concentrate our learning, the heart. Soon to learn that what we would know cannot be computed in databanks. What we want to know cannot be computed in databanks of an overworked and overtrusted brain, which is a mind we can't separate from where we believe it to be. Do you know that our hearts, in contrast, our hearts go out to the world. Our hearts go out to the world. Our hearts go out to the suffering. Our hearts go out to the weak of body. Our hearts go out to the mind. Our hearts are not so easily contained within our body. Our hearts are not so easily contained within our casing. This is your casing. This is your flesh and bone casing. This is a casing. But your heart is not contained within your body. Your heart cannot be contained by your body. Your heart cannot be contained by your body. Your heart cannot be contained by your casing of flesh and bone. Our hearts take wing with joy, and our hearts break with sadness. Not so the brain that keeps on registering it all, The brain, a silent observer. The brain, soon to tell you that your feelings of your heart were foolish indeed. Your brain wants to tell you the feelings of your heart are foolish. The feelings of your heart are foolish. That's what the brain wants to tell you. The feelings of your heart are foolish indeed. But do you know that it is our hearts that we appeal for guidance? Because it's in our hearts that resides the one who truly guides. The one who truly guides you lives in your heart. The one that truly guides you doesn't live in your mind, per se. Not your mind, with your concepts. The one who truly guides you lives in your heart. The one who truly guides you lives in your heart. Now, some of you may think the ideas that I'm sharing are just rife with sentiment. You may feel like what I'm telling you to do is to lead you to abandoning logic. Some part of you may believe that what I'm telling you could certainly cause your ruin. So I say to you again, take heart. It's really such foolishness as your heart's desires that will save you now. It is really your heart's desires that will save you now. Remember, it is your heart that's yearning for home. It's your heart that knows that this world is not your ultimate home. It's your heart that's yearning for home. It's your heart that yearns for love remembered. It's your heart that wants to remember love. Your heart that leads the way. That should you follow your heart, your heart will set you certainly. Your heart will set you certainly on the path for home. Your heart will set you certainly on the path for home. What pain has your heart endured that it has failed to treasure for its source? The heart, the source is love. And what greater proof needs you of the strength of love? Such pain has your heart endured would surely be a knife to cut through tissue, a blow that to the brain would stop all functioning, an attack upon the cells far greater than any cancer. In other words, the pain of love, so treasured that it cannot be let go, can and does indeed attack tissue, brain, and cells. And then that the strain of refusing love, you call it illness, and you allow the body to let you down, still and always holding love unto yourself. Must pain accompany love and loss? Is this the price you pay, you ask, for opening your heart? Do you think, you ask yourself, if I open my heart, I might be hurt. If I open my heart, I might be hurt. If I open my heart, I might be hurt. If I open my heart, I might be hurt. And yet, should you be asked, even though you think if you open your heart, you might be hurt, and yet should you be asked if you would have other than love, and yet if somebody asked you if you would have something other than love, you wouldn't answer yes. What else but love is worth such cost, such suffering, so many tears? What else would you not let go when pain comes near, or as a hand would drop a burning ember? What other pain would you hold closely, a grief not to be given up? What other pain would you be so unwilling to sacrifice? Don't think that these are senseless questions made to bring love and pain together and there to leave you unaided and unhelped. For pain and love kept together in this way makes no sense. The way we keep pain and love together makes no sense, and yet makes the greatest sense of all. These kind of questions just prove how valuable love is to us. That's why we'll go through so much what we think of as pain and challenges and all the things we go through and what we think of as a love situation or a love relationship is because we value love so much. What else do you value more than love? So right now, because of what I've said, your thoughts might lead you to a dozen answers now. More for some, less for others. Your answers depending on the tenacity of your thoughts, which led by your ego would throw logic in love's way. In other words, some others might use their thoughts in yet another manner. Some others may claim to choose love and not pain, when what they really are choosing is safety at the expense of love. Are you just choosing safety at the expense of real love? Are you just choosing security in the place of real love? No one here believes they can have one without the other. So no one here really believes they can have love without some form of pain. And so people here live in the fear of love, all the while desiring it above all else. People are afraid of love, even though they desire it above all else here. People have a tendency to be afraid of love, even though they desire it above all else. So don't think that love can be kept apart from your life in any way. But what we must do now, we must begin now to take life's judgments. We must begin to take life's judgment from love. What I'm saying is take away the judgments gained by your experience. Judgment based on how much love you have received. Judgments based on how much love has been withheld from you. What we're going to do you know that what we're going to do is we begin by simply accepting the proof we have been given love's strength. We are going to accept the proof. We are willing to accept the proof that we've been given the strength of love. I am willing to accept the proof that I've been given the strength of love. We have been given love's strength. And we're going to return to the strength of love again and again. As we learn to recognize what love is, we're going to be dipping into and returning to the strength of love again and again and again as we learn to recognize love for what love is. So we're going to be dipping into the strength of love. We're going to be dipping into the strength of love again and again and again while we're learning how to recognize what love is. All right. Okay, so I'm going to stop at this point and then I'm going to do a quick recap and joining in love at the end together. And I want to really remind you that I want to recognize you as love and dip into the strength of love as I do that. I love working with you, mighty companion, and learning with you, mighty companion. And if you would feel in your heart that you'd like to make a financial expression of appreciation as I am a full-time teacher, then I would really appreciate that. And you just go to my website, earlpurdy.com, earlpurdy.com. And I'm also available for one-on-one personal mentoring and or counseling sessions called clarity sessions or mentoring. Go to my website. It shares all about how you can work with me personally, you and me. There's something you want to get past, and if you are open-minded to it, I can also share with you through my knowledge of astrology and numerology, which is a beautiful way that God also communicates through me and with you. Everything is a symbol. Everything is a symbol. And go to acourseoflove.org to get more information and get the books, and you can get them on Amazon, at Amazon and Barnes and Nobles. It's such a joy to be with you and to share this with you. Such an incredible joy. So take a breath, and we're going to complete this. And please share these videos and make comments on these videos and like them on Facebook, because Facebook extends the reach of these messages when you do that. Let's do this together, mighty companion. I need you. I need you as much as you need me. We've been given the strength of love. And we are going to return to love again and again as we learn to recognize what love is. We're going to dip into the strength of love as we begin to recognize what love is. Your heart will be your eyes and ears. Your heart will be your eyes and ears. We're getting far beyond the concepts of your mind. This is a journey to the heart. Let go of your past judgments of what you think love is. Love is beyond what we believe. Love doesn't have to involve pain. Love is not pain. Love is not painful. Real love is not painful. This is the first lesson that you're going to learn to see with your heart. The heart is the center of your being. Thank you for joining me tonight. I love being with you. I so love being with you. I love being with you. You and me. I love you. Let's breathe and spend a couple of minutes in love together. And even though we may sometimes have fear of love, it's what we want everything else. I love and appreciate you. And I appreciate you. And you. Lori, Elizabeth, Sarah, Susan, Alejandro, and all of you online with me right now. I love you from the bottom of my heart. I'm getting beyond my mind and what it tells me, and I'm letting my heart be my guide. Are you ready to learn in a brand new way? I will see you next Thursday, 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. I live on Facebook Live, and I stream. And I do the Way of Mastery, 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And I live stream that. And please come to my live Course in Miracles classes and Way of Master classes if you're in Denver. Mighty Companion, may the Course be with you.